Hello everyone, welcome back to Wrestling with My Opinion. My name's Frank. Please click on the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like the video, and leave some comments down below. Love to hear back from all of you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the big news of the day. That's going to be Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff being named Executive Directors of Creative for Raw and Smackdown. I want to start out a little bit with Paul Heyman. I don't really see a problem with Heyman, honestly. If you look back at what he did with ECW, the ECW product was always entertaining and fun to watch. Creative was definitely not the issue there. He always managed to be able to keep the fans engaged and interested in what was happening and continuing to happen as it rolled through. So I really just don't see an issue there. His involvement with the current product, although he's been an on-screen talent and not technically a member of creative, he has been assisting some of the superstars with different creative things, working with Alexa Bliss and others as far as cutting promos and even entrances and things of that nature, to just help them continue to develop their characters in a positive light. And if you've ever seen any video of him when he's coaching any of these superstars, or even from the past with people that were not in WWE, you'll notice he's actually very, very good at teaching and coaching on these things. His delivery is very good. It makes the superstars or the talent very receptive to what he's trying to get them to do or express to them that they should be doing. So I think, honestly, for Raw, this is going to end up just being a positive. He will be a positive input as long as he's allowed to. Now, moving over to the SmackDown side, they're bringing Eric Bischoff in on that side for the same exact position. With Eric Bischoff, excuse the pun, he seems to be a little bit more of the wild card, in my opinion, on this. When you look at it, if you look at his time in WCW, he came in when really they were probably at their lowest of the low. He helped guide them all the way up to the highest of the high. And then obviously the wheels kind of fell off, and he was let go and brought back, and then it was sold, and there's a big mess there. Vince Russo, you guys know the story, I'm sure. But when you look at what he does as far as creative, he will say himself, if you listen to his podcast that he does with Conrad Thompson, 83 Weeks, that a lot of what they did in WCW, he wasn't involved creatively. There was a lot of people that were doing things for him. Kevin Sullivan, he talks about a whole lot. Dusty Rhodes, he talks about a whole lot with creative. He does talk about that he later on became more involved with the creative side once the ball really got rolling. But that's a little bit of a flag to me of how much on the creative side is he really gonna be able to provide positive input. The other thing you can notice when you listen to that podcast is when he's pushed or tested a little bit on either good or bad things that happen creative with WCW by Conrad. Sometimes he seems like he's got a great hold on it and a great understanding, and other times he seems lost, for lack of a better term. I don't necessarily think he was lost, but he seems that way sometimes. Maybe he just doesn't articulate it well. In the end, I think it may end up being a positive both ways, and I'm excited to see what happens. Something we do know is this is not going to be immediate changes. They will not be taking over Raw and SmackDown immediately starting with next week's episodes. It has not been said when they're taking it over, but it is not immediate. Other thing that we know, yes, Vince McMahon will still have complete control. If he says, no, we're not doing it, or I don't like it, or do it this way, then that's what's going to be done. It's his company, it's his way in the end, that's how it works. Hopefully he'll take the kid gloves off just a little bit, though, and let these guys do what they do, and hopefully make a very positive impact on the product for him. Now, that all being said, I'm excited about it. I think it's a good move. A lot of people seem to be 50-50 split. Some hate it, some don't like Bischoff, some don't like Heyman, others don't like either one. In the end, you have to look at this and go, okay, the issue with the product that everybody keeps screaming about or with WWE that everybody keeps talking about is that they don't like the creative direction, they don't like the stories, that things don't make sense. And I'm one of those people. I've said that myself. So for them to step back and say, you know what, let's bring these two people in and let's let them try to make an impact on it and help us turn this around, I think is a good thing. At least we know they care. And at least we know they're listening and they're trying at this point to turn the corner and head back in a positive direction and make it more entertaining for us. Another thing I hope that this leads to is a full separation of the brands. I've seen people bring up in the past about the fact that the same sets are used for Raw, for Smackdown, for pay-per-views. The same set is used all the time, so nothing changes. I think that needs to be different. If you remember back in the heyday, they did not use the same sets for every pay-per-view. The set that they used for Raw was different than the set they used for SmackDown, and it helped keep those brands separated, which I think is good. If you're going to have two separate brands, eliminate the wild card rule. It's pointless. It doesn't make sense because then your brands aren't separate. And it's not a wild card rule anyway. It's who are the ones we think are the most popular that we can throw on both shows. And then what's that do? It leaves other talent that's just as talented but maybe just hasn't hit that moment yet that made the fans really bite in and engage. It leaves them sitting backstage and wondering, why am I not on the show? So in the end, I think this is going to be a good move. I'm interested to hear what you guys think, though. Leave some comments down below, or even find me on Twitter at mypwopinion. I'm always happy to exchange on there about information, and jump in on the watch-alongs that we all do as well for Raw, for SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-views. We'll be doing it with AEW events as well. So look forward to hearing from everybody. Again, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, ring that bell, and get notifications anytime new content comes up. And again, I appreciate you viewing our video today.